So do you all like? What would you ultimately like to be with filmmaking? Would you like to like kind of make it like the way Jason Epperson has, or like you know what I mean, or would you like to be an indie filmmaker like
Well,
Robert Rodriguez with his own studio?
I I, I would probably like more Rodriguez, but I'm also, I guess the weird thing is, and I told my wife this, and she thinks I'm crazy, but I'll explain my craziness. If you create an idea or a music or film, you create something, and there's a school of thought that if you create something, you create worlds, you create universes. So somewhere out there, by default, is a very shabby little, fluttering little Astro Space Hero universe that has actually been created just because I've made Astro Space Hero. So, in a weird sort of way, I'm trying to propagate that little universe I've created out there. It's a couple gajillion light years away. So I told my wife that. She said, I was like, that's a pretty shabby universe. I'm like, well, yeah, but you know.
I can't believe your wife wasn't on board with it right off
Yeah.
the bat, to be honest with you.
And then I slept out in the shed, and then no, I'm just kidding. But that's one of the motifs I have. I know people think that's weird, but
But for me, I would love a shot to do a studio film, just one. I mean, if I
To be
blow
hired
it,
on?
yeah, if it would make me feel legitimate. Just myself, not for anything else. Just do one. If I blow it, I blow it. If I do
Yeah.
great, do another one. But honestly, I've co-wrote a script with Jeffrey Reddick, the creator of Final Destination, and we have been trying to get funding for it, and we want. And I consider this, if it was to film, because I'm going to be the director of it. He's already said that's fine. You can direct it, whatever. He didn't really say it like that. He was much nicer about it, but I would consider it my one shot, because he's like, if we make it right. I'll get it in the hands of Lionsgate, and it'll go from there. And he said, well, the people will make their money back, times 4 or 5, and then I want to do more with us. I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. I will do it. And we had it funded one time. There was a nice family out towards LA that was going to give us $100,000 to do it,
Wow.
and they had the money without doubt, but they slowly started getting a little crazier and crazier and crazier. And the first thing we did was when we signed on is Jeffrey said, yeah, you can do this. Me and Cherokee co-wrote it, and he's going to direct it. That's the thing about it. They're like, that's great, that's fine, we'll do that. And then first thing they asked is if they could get my name taken off the writing credit. And Jeffrey was like, I don't know about that. What do you think? And I'm like, well, if it gets it made and I'm directing it, that's fine. So they took me off as a
I
writer
don't know why they would bother.
because they wanted it just to be from Jeffrey Reddick.
Oh.
So I was like, and I understand that because I'm a nobody. I'm not going to, they're going to be like, Jeff Reddick and who? Well, maybe this other guy, con Jeffrey into doing some stuff. When it's all his stuff and I helped, he's the main writer on it without doubt.
Okay.
So then they wanted me taken off as director, and Jeffrey's
Oh,
like
man.
no, and he stood up. He was like no, because he stood to make some money with this, and because they wanted me off as director, he said no, and he approached me and said, hey, would you be willing to take a different role as long as we get this made and you can maybe direct the next one? I would have been like, sure thing, buddy, but it meant so much to me that he said no, we want it back.
yeah.